Hello, everyone, and welcome to Torg's Day Night. It is the last Torg's Day Night of the year. This is actually our annual Bureau G Christmas episode. So, just welcome to everybody. We have a new face this year with the Bureau G, who you may recognize from such great, iconic shows as The B Team and The B Team. You have guest starred in the finale of the Horseman game, and you will soon in 2023 be able to cross up the streams yet once again with us in the FET 5 game. So we are going to get started just right off the bat with Brian as our new player. Before we introduce anybody, just tell me when to stop shuffling the cards.
Okay, good. Stop.
All right, you want me to cut?
No, I trust you.
All right. So,
Famous last words.
famous last words. The first card is you are driven back. As you head down the hallway, a number of Kanawa security guards step out from panels that explode up into the air. There are 6 of them. 3 of them come out in power suits, katanas drawn, Terminators at their side. And the other 3 of them kind of step out wearing nothing more than ear mesh clothing and kind of in a very Henry Cavill sort of way, cocking their fists, fighting loose. And the door that holds all that you were here for, they stand between. So, villains go first. Heroes suffer a surge. However, I don't think any of you can get contradictions as you are all in Cosm. So that is a lucky draw for you. Defend and maneuver are the approved actions. So almost immediately, the defenders pull out their Arlington Terminators and they take shots at each of you. Well, that is not a great set of rolls for my guys, so they're going to spend a little of their possibility to do some re-rolling here. Can't have that be our first roll of the night, can we, gentlemen? All right, so William.
I'm in the impression that we came at the wrong time. We could come back if it's more convenient later, like when you're asleep.
The first one draws his Terminator on you, and I got a 13. Torg takes a little bit to get back into the swing of things. 13 hits you, but with no bonus damage. So it will inflict a wound and 2 shock as the Terminator's bullets just strafe up your side.
Terrible.
Are you soaking right off the bat?
I am.
All right.
I just got this suit. I don't want to ruin it with blood and stuff.
It's really the end stuff.
Yeah, this is the nicest clothes I own.
That's right.
I think.
You think?
Yeah, as far as I know.
They're the only clothes you own.
That's right.
So far, yes. All right, so that is a 10 on the dot.
All right, so how do you bend reality and not take damage?
So this is one of those bits where I just am sort of stumbling backwards and end up falling backwards off of rubble that comes from the explosions and stumble back onto my back a little bit. And the bullets whiz over the top of my head as I'm kind of floundering to get back to my feet.
All right. Sanjuro, you know why you're here. You know what you expect to see on the other side of this door. However, the Terminator hits you. I feel like I should be saying the Terminator. But the guard's weapon catches you with a good success, hitting you with a 19.
Thanks.
I would like to spend 1 shock to engage my ability of no mind.
Okay.
Draw my electric katana, and I start deflecting bullets with my katana.
All right. So I hit a 19. Your melee defense is a 17, so that will hit, but with no bonus die, correct?
Correct.
All right. So you, sir, will take 2 shock as the bullets you cut 3 of the bullets out of the air, and the 4th one you just kind of deflect, and it painfully hits your side. Joe, the guy hits you as well for a wound and 2 shock. Is there anything you would like to do?
I will soak.
Okay.
A 13.
All right. So you take no damage and no shock from that. But as you manage to all evade the effects of the firing, the 3 other guards kind of leap over, coming at you with kicks, trying to they land. Fists are flying, feet are coming in. You are trying to defend as best as you are able. William, the good news is you defend better than you are able, or perhaps are able to defend better than most. And you manage to deflect the incoming attacks. Joe, what is your unarmed defense?
It is a 9.
All right, Joe, you are hit with a good success. And this guy is going to spend a shock to increase his damage by 2 and spend 3 more for that leap kick to really hit home hard. In case you guys can't tell, we're being able to play with the new Pan Pacifica book, which I believe the PDF is out to backers. Is that correct?
It
As
is.
backers of Pan Pacifica?
It is.
Oh no, Joe! I can't believe I get to say that phrase on a routine basis. Joe, you will take. He hits you for 22, which is just brutal. What GM is running this thing? 2 wounds and 4 shock. He kicks
I'm
you
gonna
right in the heart.
have to try and soak that too.
Sanjuro, I hit you with a 16, and I assume your blade defends you.
I say yes. Do I need to spend another shock for the
No.
No, that's a melee defense.
Yeah,
I
it's a
should be able
melee
to do
defense.
Oh, wait.
Shock.
So I did not succeed, and I will spend my last possibility to try and make it better. So my previous roll was a 9.
Okay.
Oh, so now I have a 16.
There you go. So you take no wounds from this initial attack. It is now your guys' turn. What are you going to do?
Well, since we're in melee
You
with
are.
these fellows, I will engage them in melee. I will attack 2 of them with my whirlwind perk.
Okay. 2 of the path agents.
Yes.
All right. Your target number is 13.
All right. And I'm engaging my electric katana in its electric mode.
Okay.
So for the first one, I got an 18. It's armor piercing 2 if they have anything.
Oh
no, it's a multi-target. So it's an 18. It's a 16.
No, you don't suffer the first multi-target with
Right.
whirlwind. So yeah, so you hit with a good success on the first one, and that would be a good success on the second one. So
yes.
roll your damage.
All right. I'm just checking to see if there's any perks I wish to apply to it. I will spend 3 shock to apply a +2 to both attack and damage, if that will help. That will push
Okay.
my attack to a higher level.
So what's
If
the
I get
damage?
another,
And what's
I would get,
well, 18 would get you to 20. No. So, but the damage would help.
all right. Well, I will spend the 3 shock to play cut the center,
Okay.
and that takes my total damage, base damage, to let me double check. 13 plus a bonus die.
All right. So go ahead and so 13 plus a bonus die. Go ahead and roll your bonus die for each.
All right, my total for the first one, effect is 16.
All right. That takes the first guy out. He is going to try and soak and fail. All right.
And on the second one, the target total effect is 17.
So 17 is up 7. That's a wound and 2 shock. He is going to
Now,
try it.
yes, I am using my electric katana,
Okay.
which means that after I have it has the dazing effect, which means that it will not kill them, but is more likely to knock. All wounds are converted to 3 shock after attempts to soak damage.
Okay.
So if they don't soak, so they take the shock from the base weapon, plus each wound gives an additional 3 shock.
Oh, all right. Well, he rolled an 18, which is plus 5, which gets him to a 13. So as you cut the first one down, his Viper 9mm goes flying into the air, and the guy next to him reflexively grabs it and manages to get it in front of your katana as it's coming through, parries a couple of times, and you cut the gun in half. But one of those guys is gone.
All right.
William or Joe, you just saw Sanjuro cut down one of them brutally, and the other one very luckily get out of the way.
That is quite lucky. Unfortunately for him, he's standing next to me, and I'm kind of still sitting on my backside. And what I'm going to do in very Jackie Chan fashion is I'm going to try and kick his feet out from underneath him, and then put my hands and feet up to catch him, so he's like a bullet shield for the next incoming slaughter or onslaught of the gunmen back behind us, who clearly
So-
don't care about their friends, because that's not Kanawa doctrine.
Are you trying to maneuver him into position, or are you also trying to inflict some damage? Is it a multi-action or just a straight?
Yeah, I'm thinking multi-action.
All
So
right.
it's going to be a strike and a maneuver. Oh, goody. That's 6, 19. All right, so -2, that is an 18 for the attempt.
An 18 on maneuver, and
No, on the strike.
on the strike,
then
an
the
18
maneuver
hits
will
with a
be,
good success.
Good. And then the maneuver will be a 15.
That is a normal success. So vulnerable or stymied?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm going to make him vulnerable.
perfect.
And then for the good success, we are looking at 16 for the damage.
16 inflicts
Mhm.
enough shock to knock him out. Nice. All right, so you have a limp body in front of you. You have a little body armor. He's a short guy.
That's all right. I'm on my backside.
Joe, you are up. What are you doing? Ben, you're muted.
How many of the martial artists are in a small blast range?
Well, there's only one that is still up.
Oh, the one on me.
Yeah.
Okay. I
So all of
I
them.
would like to do a multi-action.
Okay.
I would like to engage my power suit flight,
Okay.
charge into the one who's right with me, and fly towards the three that are shooting.
Okay.
And then when I have all of us in a small blast radius.
So remember, a small
I
blast
will
only hits
release-
one person.
Okay, well then I'm not gonna. Okay, then I am just going to I'll do just single action. I will sonic scream at the the guy who just fought me.
Okay.
Within my mask, my mouth opens and it's a psionic attack,
Okay.
but it's focused through the mask, and it looks like those little concentric circles if
Yeah.
we drew it in the manga that is our legend. And he needs to have a dodge or a dexterity higher than a 15.
He does not.
Excellent. So he will take, I believe, 12. So what is his?
All right, 13.
Okay, so I got a 15, so standard success. He takes 12 damage, which ignores all armor.
All right. That'll inflict 2 shock on that one. The next card is Give Up Ground. Villains go first. Heroes are fatigued. Not a great start for our heroes. Just remember, blame Brian. He told me when to stop. And Defend is the approved action. The guy in front of you, Joe, takes a breath, kind of with his right foot, kind of circumscribes a half circle on the ground, begins to trace it out on the floor, and as you follow it, he throat punches you. Ooh. And that's a +2. So it's a total of 15, which is a good success on you, and he's going to burn some shock. Because why not, right? That's what these path abilities are for. He's going to spend 4 shock to increase the damage to 12 and 2 bonus dice.
Yikes.
12, 9, 21, which is up 11. So that is 2 wounds, Joe, and 4 shock. He lets out a scream and catches you right in the throat.
I am out of possibilities, so I will take 2 wounds and 4 shock.
All right, how's your shock?
I would like
looking?
to trade a card to Joe.
What card would you like to trade to Joe?
I would like to trade the opponent fails in my hand.
Ah, excellent.
Is it in your action pool?
Yes.
Okay, then yes.
I will trade you a leadership card.
Okay.
All right.
For your excellent leadership that allows me to play this opponent fails.
All right.
Excellent.
So he does not catch you in the throat. You manage to turn just slightly, catching it on the chin of your helmet and deflecting it completely. 2 of the guys are going to take shots at you, William. But the good news is that dude's providing cover for you. So you have +2 armor on this attack. And they're going to use their ability. I love the new threats in the Pan Pacifica book. So these guys have Unity System. Allies count as double when assisting in a combined action. They're taking a combined action against you. They're firing once, but they're all firing at you through, as you pointed out, Kamino Security does not really care about its employees. And so they hit you, sir, with...
Ouch.
They hit you with an outstanding success. Oh no, they hit you with a good success. They hit you with a good
Okay.
success. Defend is the approved action. Would you like to take it, or do you want to see what happens?
I think I will take the defend action
Okay, give me the roll.
because I don't like the sound of any of this. It all sounds very terrible. Yeah. So that's going to take me to a dodge of 14.
A dodge of 14, which will drop you from a good success to a standard success against you. And that will inflict only a wound and 2 shock.
Ouch again.
And the last guy
All right.
drops his gun. Sanjuro draws 2 blades, and his face looks disturbingly, maybe eerily familiar as he comes running up at you. A face that, under your mask, you see reflected in the mirror every morning. And this die just seems to like rolling 18, so I'm going to keep it for right now. That is a 20. Oh, by the way, Brian, you successfully defended. You get second chance.
Excellent. Everybody needs a second chance.
That's what you're currently living, William.
Exactly.
Sanjuro, what would you like to do?
So his attack was 20.
Was a 20, yes.
All right. The first thing I have to tell you is that I have invoked the law of tenacity, since the fatigue would have pushed me over my shock limit.
Okay, so you take a
I have
wound and wipe.
Wound and wipe the shock clean. So I'm going to take an active defense.
All right.
All right. That is not great. I think I would like to spend a possibility on that one, though. Last roll was a crappy 6. That is a total of, my bonus is +3, brings my melee defense to 20, which is not enough. Damn it. Oh well.
Well, he just hits you with his base damage, which just does 2 shock to you. Or actually, it does 2 shock to you.
Okay. What's his base damage?
13.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Gentlemen, it is your turn.
I defended, so I can't do anything.
That's right. So did Brian
That's the
or
guy.
William. Joe, you are up.
But I do put that leadership card in my pool.
Nice. What cards do you all have in your pool?
Mistaken identity, and now the second chance is up.
All right.
I
Now
have a
it's
drama
leadership.
because I played the opponent fails.
Correct. Okay. What are you doing, Joe?
I am going to use my I'm going to activate the power suit's flight ability.
Okay.
And I'm going to use it to maneuver the ones with the guns, of which are there still 2?
There are 3.
3. Okay, so of the 3, I am going to maneuver 2 of them
Okay.
to try to make them stymied.
Okay, go for it. Oh, by the way, William, the one you got who absorbed your damage is also, just very dead.
I have a -2 modifier because there's 2 of them.
Brian, instead of that wound and 2 shock that I gave you, it should only have been
Mhm.
2 shock. That is my fault
Oh,
because you
okay.
had cover.
I will dewound myself.
JM,
Yes.
on reviewing this, I have a perk. One of my path abilities is staying alive. I can spend a shock to increase my 1 shock to get a +2 bonus to melee defense, which combined with my active defense would have pushed me over, and it's only
Alright.
take 1 shock.
Let's
So-
do it. You take the 1 shock instead. You get adrenaline as your card, and I believe you have something that happens when somebody misses you in melee defense. Sorry about that, Joe.
Oh no,
Sorry, I did.
I missed.
I'm just. You're actually. I'm not clear what that might be.
Oh, I thought who had that was William who had the one that allowed him
That's
to
William.
send it. That's William. All right. So, Closer to Victory is the next card. Heroes go first. Villains suffer a setback, and maneuver is the approved action. So, as you all watch, alarms start to flash, klaxons start to blare, and there is screaming coming from the other side of the door. It causes every one of the members of the security guards to turn back, momentarily distracted by what's behind them. And I'm going to roll a d6. I would like Greg to call it even or odds. If it matches what Greg calls, they will be vulnerable. If it doesn't match what Greg calls, they will be stymied.
Odd.
All right, they are all vulnerable for this round. You guys are up first.
I can just
door
wade
is
in.
Closed. The door that we're trying to get through is closed or open.
It is still closed.
The way is shut.
It was built by the Kanawa Corp. Go ahead, Sanjuro. Wait on in.
All right. Well, I'm going to take on myself. Apparently. Can't use the leadership. All right. I will make an all-out attack against myself. Give myself a +4 in my roll.
Okay.
And I will spend 1 shock for cut the center to apply a +2 bonus to my attack. But just to the attack. So that gives me a total bonus of +6 on my attack roll.
Okay.
Which was my total is 20 armor piercing 2.
That hits.
Does that I could spend a possibility
that
on
hits with a good success.
I'll spend a possibility.
All right.
+6. All right, that brings me to the total is now a 30.
Well, that will definitely hit with an outstanding success.
All right, so the damage. So my damage total effect is 24.
24. How do you cut this guy down?
All right. Well, the thing is, it's an electric katana, so it cuts through his armor, but the electrical shock effect only stuns him and knocks him completely unconscious. So he will still be around for interrogation if we have the chance later.
Perfect.
So
All right.
it's a single blow straight across the chest.
All right. Who's going next, William or Joe?
I could go next. Alrighty, so I kind of hop back up to my feet, and I'm going to run up towards the Kanawa guy that has the Terminator shotgun, and I'm going to do one of those fun Jackie Chan type disarms where I grab a hold of the shotgun and I'm going to spin around in a circle with it so that the guy kind of lets go of it.
Okay.
And if I'm lucky, the action will snap shut on my thumb and I'll drop it and do that shaking my hand thing.
All right, go for it.
All right. Let's see. Yes, a 1. That's the worst thing ever.
But you have a second chance in your pool.
I do have a second chance in my pool, and that was a good time to defend last time around, so I'm going to go ahead and spend it.
Go for it.
All right, so that's a 17. That's not totally terrible. So we're looking at a 4 minus 2. No, minus 4. I apologize. So that's square, even, Steven. So we're looking at a total unarmed combat value of 15
That
for the
is a
disarm.
good success.
Excellent. So I believe we do a strength test to avoid being disarmed.
All
His
right.
against mine, and he's sitting at a -2 penalty.
He's sitting at way more than that.
All right. And so I got a 15 for the strength total on disarm.
You beat him with a outstanding success.
Excellent. So that's it. I spin the shotgun around and it snaps shut on my thumb and I drop it. And now we're both standing there with empty hands.
With empty hands. All right, Joe. What are you doing, sir?
I am going to aim at the door.
Okay,
It's a good call. Those things attack out of nowhere.
that's right. Doors are dangerous.
They are.
So the guy who is gunless in front of you draws his katanas and starts trying to attack you. And roll a 4 with the multi-action. That's a -8. I don't suppose that a 7 hits your defense.
No, but he tried really hard and we love triers.
And you get to strike back, correct?
I do, and I'm gonna go ahead and spend my shock to go ahead and do the block strike. So he takes his katanas and I just put my hands out and just punch him square in the nose.
Nice. Tank, all the ampersands, good to see you both tonight.
1. So that's a total of 16 on that unarmed combat.
That is a good success.
Alrighty. All right, so that is 5 plus 12. Nope, 5 plus 10 is 15 on the damage.
All right, well, the bad news is that only is enough to inflict some shock, but the good news is that's the last shock that guy had. So you hit the front of his helmet, his power armor helmet. His head hits the back of his power armor helmet, rebounds to the front. We kind of go to that cutaway where they show the head bouncing around inside the armor, and the guy drops like just a sack of flour, which leaves only our pack agent in front of Joe and the last remaining guard. That guard is going to attempt to take a shot at Sanjuro, who he just cut down someone in front of him, and get a 16. So because of your path, you could choose to use your melee defense and cut the bullets out of the air, correct?
I could. I will, but I am also still vulnerable, very vulnerable from having done an all-out attack before.
That's true. Oh. All right.
So
6.
I could spend 2 shock to engage staying alive.
Yeah, but that would
But
still
what was the
hit
total?
you. 16.
Yes.
All
All
right.
right. I will spend 1 shock to get my defense up to 13 instead of 6.
That's a good thing to do. So that would just be a standard hit on you, which will only inflict 2 shock.
All right.
And the last guy is again he's gonna try and deal with you, Joe, and roll a 3. Last possibility in their pool to get to a 14. So that gets him to a total unarmed combat of 14, which is a hit against you. How much shock does this guy have left? He's sitting at, he has spent 7 of 8. I know that he's about to knock himself unconscious. All right, Joe, he hits you. It doesn't matter, even if I don't have the shock to bump it up to a bonus die. So Joe, you will take 2 shock from the hit. All right. Did you guys all take your 2 shock from the fatigue?
I did.
All right.
Mhm.
So the next card is You Can't Stop Me. Heroes go first. Villains are fatigued. The one in front of Joe immediately falls out, knocks himself unconscious, leaving only the one guy in front of him. Intimidate and Trick are the approved actions. Now, Joe, I think I know what you're going to do. So if you're okay, I'm going to let the other guys go first, and we'll finish up with you. All right, Sanjuro William, there's 1 elite defender left.
Is he reality rated?
He is reality rated, yes.
All right. So we can't intimidate him out of here. All right.
Is he standing within a medium blast radius of the door?
No, he had moved down the hall from that.
Okay.
But
Well-
I think I know what you're trying to do. So I'm
I was going to say that perhaps my compatriots could maneuver him into the appropriate position.
Perhaps we could trick him instead.
That was actually what I was planning on doing. Is I was gonna kind of fling the shotgun up, like catch it by the sling, and then kick it towards the guy to try to get him to move towards the door or back away from
all right.
Sanjuro and company.
All right, his trick is 11.
All right, my trick is not awesome, but I like to try. I like to fail. Let's see, that's 5 minus 4 is 6. So I do not. I kind of tangle the shotgun around my leg and it goes nowhere.
Sanjuro.
I will attempt to trick as well. I will say, you have forgotten about our compatriots that have come up from the hall behind you. So it says, look behind you.
And of course, I'll turn and look. What?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll say, wait, Frenchie's here?
All right, and that is an appallingly bad roll. Yeah, that's a 2. So he does not buy this.
Joe, it is your turn.
Sorry, you're up, Joe.
All
In
right,
an almost slapstick fashion, your allies are unable to trick the very trickable guard.
well, I have already aimed, so that's going to give me a +2, and because I'm a sniper, it will give me if I'm successful, it will give me a bonus dice of damage.
Aim gives you a +4.
Oh, excellent! A +4. And because the door is not moving, I assume it's probably an 8 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going. So Joe will say, "Bird, go!" And he throws his explosive bird dart at the door. And so with a +4. I hit the door for an 18.
All right, that's an
So,
outstanding success. 3 bonus dice of damage.
So it'll be, and because of my sniper, it'll be 3 bonus dice of damage.
Mm-hmm.
The explosive dart is a base damage of 13.
Okay.
Where's the sorry, I'm trying to use the computer to roll dice. You click on the there we go. All right, so that's going to hit you for a 28, or it's going to hit the door for a 28. And I would like to spend 1 shock to engage my blowback, which will then force the door back 10 meters.
Can you use? I don't think you can use blowback with if it's I think blowback is for
Oh, it's
unarmed
just-
combat.
This is just named wrong. It's spend 1 shock, and your target must make a strength test or be knocked back 10 meters. But because it's a door,
Right. So don't worry about that. You don't have to spend the shock
Cool.
on that one.
Okay.
As the door explodes, we're going to pause here. We're going to wipe to black. 8 hours earlier kind of flashes on the screen. As the 3 of you are seated at a bar at a very classy club. Now, for those of you who may be joining us for the first time, Torg is and you may be wondering what is going on. There are cards, there are dice. I don't understand anything that has been going on here. Let me give you a brief introduction. Torg is a game of multiple reality action dramatic heroism. In our world, if our world was a world where the best Christmas movie ever was a documentary as opposed to an action movie, if Die Hard were a documentary, if things like John Wick happened on a more routine basis and weren't just the subject of fiction, if that world was invaded by other realities who came to predatorily siphon our potential and rip it away and take it back to their domains, if you will. And these realities have parasitically overlaid parts of our world so that the UK and Scandinavia are now no longer part of our world. The land is the same, the people exist there, but they now exist in the Cosm of Isle, a high fantasy world. And everyone, like most of the people there, have just forgotten who they were. They have been absorbed into this new cosm, this new reality. North Africa and much of the Middle East has been absorbed into the Nile Empire, which is a 1930 pulp superhero setting. The east and west coasts of North America have been taken over by the Living Lands, which is a cosm of mysterious ruins, dinosaur people, and low-tech, high charisma people. France and Germany are now part of the Cyber Papacy, a techno religious Gnostic society that believes technology is closer to godliness. Russia has been invaded by Tharkold, a world of techno demons. So Hellraiser meets Mad Max. India and much of that area has been taken over by Orosh, a 1800s Victorian horror setting. And last but not least, where we are at tonight is Pan Pacifica. Pan Pacifica was quietly invaded by the Kanawa Corp and slowly converted into this neon cyberpunk setting. And so each of the worlds has their own unique laws. And the laws of Pan Pacifica are the law of intrigue. while I'm doing my intro, if you guys don't mind muting while you're typing, there's a little bit of clicking. So sorry about that.
Might be me.
The law of intrigue, which says that beneath the surface, paranoia runs rampant. This company has possibly been linked to an outbreak of strange zombie-like creatures with the contagion. The law of tenacity, which is this law of hard-boiled police, men and women, private detectives, rebels, and outlaws. You can rarely rely on backup. You can only rely on yourself. And the law of vengeance, where backstabbing and double crosses are a common occurrence. Now, we had some cards that technically had to be played as soon as they were drawn. Each Storm Knight, who carries with them their own personal reality, gets a Cosm card when they come into a new reality. And unfortunately, William, you drew You Don't Look So Good. Is that correct?
Steve, I did.
Play immediately when drawn. Your Storm Knights shows symptoms of a possible infection. You do not roll again on 10s until the end of the act.
Yikes. All right, cool.
However, when we jump back, you will have 3 possibilities to spend. Also, if you die during this act, you will come back as a Zhangxi.
Not gonna happen. Be fine.
And Sanjuro, you got sold out. You will be betrayed by a non-player character you consider to be an ally sometime in this adventure. You gain again. You will gain 1 to 3 possibilities, and I'm going to say it's 3. And everyone else will also gain a possibility. So possibilities are the meta currency that allow you to re-roll dice like they were using to soak damage, which means Joe has 1 possibility left in his pool. Sanjuro just got an extra 3, and William is coming out ahead with all of this.
Except for the whole zombie plague thing he's got.
Yeah, it's probably fine. So as you sit in this bar, you'll notice someone is absent. Auditor 17 has been missing for the last several weeks. The Delphi Council, the group that fights these invading cosms, who you all work for, has sent you a temporary replacement, a man by the name of William, whose honest face and lack of backstory integrates him quickly into the group. I've been prepping for this game for a whole year, everybody. And as you sit there, Sanjuro, you sit across from a man who initially got you in with the Delphi Council, and in those moments when you were kind of coming to terms with who you were, kind of helped set you up. Who is this man? Who is this guy who kind of helped you out when you were kind of dealing with the fact that you too had very little past?
Little heads up would have been good here, Jam.
But then I can't put you on the spot, Greg.
Wah, wah.
This is Mr. Smith. Mr.
All right.
Smith. He doesn't look like a Smith. Doesn't look like anybody even remotely like from Europe. But that's his. He's a fixer.
He's a fixer. I was just gonna say, sort of like Mr. Johnson, another name
Yes.
that's just.
Yes, it says he's wearing a dark suit, dark glasses, and he's completely, totally nondescript. And he was his.
I trust him completely.
Yes, he seems very, very trustworthy. I always trust fixers.
All right, I did
And,
some. Oh, go ahead.
No, that's good. I met him after the events at the wherein I destroyed quite a number of myself.
That's right. Back in our first Bureau G game, which you can find on the Iconic Production YouTube channel, which was a Christmas tradition. Now 3 years running, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So he leans across and he's like, I've been doing some work, some research into what you've been asking me, and he slides over his hand, and your Zuzu, your phone pings that there's an airdrop coming across. It's a strange confluence of events. Both the man that has gone missing, the auditor, and the trail that you asked me to hunt down for you. They both lead to a small subsidiary, a small biotech research facility of the Kanawa Corp here in town. Now I feel like I should warn you. Pulling up my notes. The man who runs this facility, he is known among the corporation as a brutal sociopath. He gets results done. It doesn't matter how many bodies he has to break, how many people. He needs to feed in the machine to keep the wheels greased. Now listen, it's come out that the auditor has been playing both sides.
What?
He works for the Kanawa Corporation as an auditor, yet he has been apparently running for the Delphi Council. Does this name ring a bell to you?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Good. Listen, that's the site of the research facility. I don't know what they're dealing, but I do know this. Mr. Parker is not a man to cross unless it's really worth it to you.
These clams are really, really good. They're kind of warm, though.
Okay, it's like, what is
Listen.
wrong with you?
Sanjuro, we have been through quite a bit. I know you've been asking me to do this and look into your past. Is there any way I could talk you out of this?
I must know, and I must destroy all the not real me's. There can be but one.
Possibility for getting the Highlander reference in there. Again, I realize I'm setting a bad precedent. So,
Which is why we refer to you as but one.
All right.
We're going to have words later, Joe.
All right. Listen. Be careful. He looks like he's about to say something else and then just... Mr. Parker will be at the facility in about 6 hours. Good luck. And Merry Christmas.
Oh, they have oysters, too. Yeah.
So Mr. Smith
Merry
stands up,
Christmas, Mr. Smith.
bows very deeply to you, Sanjuro, kind of looks weirdly at William, nods to Joe, and then heads out.
Ugh. Ah, that didn't taste good, but I'm sure I'll be fine later.
There you go. New
Haikus provided by Mr. Furious himself.
Joe's plate is it's very decorative. It's very minimal, but it's also largely bird seed. Just things that a bird would eat. Noodles that resemble worms. and he doesn't use utensils.
Sanjuro, as always, is very Spartan.
All right. So you have a data file, Sanjuro.
Well, let's look at the data file.
It is a research facility. You can see that it has its front is actually a shipping and receiving for biomedical supplies. It looks like a biomedical supply facility, but you can see that it actually descends several levels below the surface, and it's actually right on the bay. So it has docks for receiving and shipping out goods. It's a small 2-story warehouse above, and it's got 3 stories kind of beneath the earth. Getting in will be difficult, but not impossible.
What time is it?
You have about 7 hours, or sorry, you have about 5 hours until this guy Parker arrives.
Great. But what time is it now?
Oh, it is 7 o'clock in the evening on Christmas Eve.
All right. So he's okay. All right. How do we want to do this? Part of me wants to get on my motorcycle and ride off through the dark rain of this megalopolis, because that's what should happen in this scene.
That's right.
The scout, but that does not very much of a team player. So,
What if we triangulate our POVs on the building and communicate with each other while I play an alertness card?
that seems like a good plan.
All right.
So if you take ground level, I will fly high above the building and check it out from the air, and then
William goes in by the sewers.
Why do you always get the crap
Well,
jobs?
I know a couple of turtles and a rat who'll help you out if you need a way in.
Oh,
Or I could just walk in the front door and ask.
He has an
Not
honest
bad.
face.
Yeah, we're recognizable. I doubt that
William is not, however.
That's right.
Exactly.
I think that's not a bad idea.
All right. So with your alertness card, Joe, you pick up 2 things. One, Parker's probably not arriving by boat or helicopter or car, as there is a sealed Kanawa, essentially monorail underground that connects this facility to another one. But you can see that the guards are. There seems to be more guards around here than you would expect for such a small facility. And there is a large shipping, like cargo ship, docked out in the bay, and several small tugs that have come as if they're prepping to take something large out to sea to this cargo ship. Gaining access.
I could enjoy a small tug.
Gaining access to the facility is a dramatic task that we will run through. So, after kind of seeing that, how would you guys like to go about this?
I would suggest as one step, I could roll streetwise to determine the shipment schedule and what weaknesses there are in it. In the same way that someone might want to find something that falls off a truck.
All right, so let's start with this. The first card, not like this, has A, B, and C on it. Joe, give me your streetwise roll.
Oh, that's a 1. But luckily, I do have a second chance card as well. So I will play that and get a 12.
All right. So with the 12, you know that these things, they're expecting to basically hook up and drag a massive um, container out to the cargo ship at about 3 a.m. Christmas morning. Now that takes you about an hour, as you kind of, it takes you guys about an hour to get here, except for Sanjuro because he looks awesome driving through the rain. Reflections of him just scattering as he goes driving by through the neon lit shadows of the city. Joe, of course, flies there. You wait on William as he, I don't know, either walks there or figures out what a cab is, and then remembers how to fly.
Oh, no, I ride the monorail.
You ride a monorail. Nice.
I'm just hanging out.
So, as you guys basically have discovered, there are, these things are set to ship at about 4 a.m. Joe, they're just they're setting up early. These are kind of state of the art boats. They're going to be able to haul several metric tons of weight apiece, and they're expecting they have 2 of them set aside. So with step A complete, how are you guys going to get access into the building?
Okay. Is there any actual shipments coming to this building?
Not tonight.
Not tonight.
Are the guards guarding these ships, and is there some form of guard rotation?
If you guys wanted to find that, somebody could use a evidence analysis or a find to figure that out.
Either
I could
very
do both of
finding
those things.
or evidence based.
I can actually do both of those things, but not very well. All right, I could do a find.
Okay, go ahead. The next card is
Yes.
Breakthrough, which does have the B on it.
All right. Well, I've got my find total is 20.
Nice. All right, so this actually takes 2 hours of observation, as you're wanting to make sure that it takes time to see a pattern emerge, and not just once is happenstance, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a pattern. So the guards, the tugboats do have security staff on them, and there is a guard rotation, but with an outstanding success. You can see that they do have a small skeleton staff inside, and they have somebody manning the front desk. This person with an outstanding success does not seem to be focused too much on keeping an eye on the entryway as much as he is paying attention to a Zuzu pad and is Kanawa timing with family at this point.
I think we should try to make a stealth roll to try to just try to infiltrate past him. This way, just take a quick watch. We'll make stealth rolls to try to go past him as he.
All right,
as he's in.
Who is the worst stealth?
A 10?
I've got 11.
I have a 10.
Yay!
All right, well, William, let's have you roll this.
Excellent.
All right, so the card is Torg, which has a
Oh, no.
possible setback on it. So if you do not succeed at this step, you will be dropped back, not advanced to step C, but you will fall back to step A.
All the way back to A.
And what happens is, as you guys are sneaking across uh, the open space, kind of the lobby of this shipping and receiving warehouse, there is a power fluctuation, and for a moment, all of the emergency lights come on, but more importantly, the Wi-Fi drops out, and he looks at his Zuzu and then kind of looks up to look around. William, please give me your stealth roll.
Alrighty, I shall. Let's see. It's 12, so that's a 0. So we're looking at a 10. Dead on.
Which is exactly what you needed. As he stands up and looks around, all three of you are pressed up against the security desk, like right on the other side of the lip. And before he can see your shadows, before he can see the wisps of William's hair kind of sticking just above the edge of the security desk, the lights come back on, and you hear, "No, I lost you there for a second," and he immediately looks back at the screen. So now, thanks to the the files that Mr. Smith has given you, you find yourself at a Kanawa elevator, an elevator that you would normally have Auditor 17 crack open for you. Do any of you have computers or lockpicking?
I do have computers.
Sanjuro, as you kind
Man
of
of many talents.
as you kind of kneel down and see this in front of you, you start getting weird flashbacks. You've seen this, weird memories kind of come to you. You've seen this panel before, but when you've seen a panel like this, all of the lights were flickering. You could hear muffled explosions and scream, and the acrid smell of like an electrical fire and blood kind of filled the air. And so I'm actually going to give you, I'm going to reduce this DN from 10 to 8. Because
I'm sure I'll pay for that.
you've used one of these before.
All right, well, that's good because my total is 10.
All right. So, as the elevator comes up and you all head back down, we will now flash back. The door has been blown open by Joe, smoke billowing back into the hallway, klaxons going off. And as you advance into the next room, you can see scientists lie strewn about, covered in blood. Others run frantically through the whole area. You can see several more
What'd
of
you
those
do?
strange glass tubes, Sanjuro, the ones that held Sanjuro 8 from that very first run on the Kanawa Corp that you did. You can see others, and beyond, you can see the vast floor is opened up. This whole, the majority of this underground level is filled with what looks like a water tank. And you can see the back of something covered in massive scales and spines sticking out of it, power cables and electrodes, monitoring scanners, kind of covering this. And if this area is 20 meters square with people who are walking around it. And you can just see the back of this thing kind of humping up in the middle of the water. And across the way, a man in a suit turns, and you can see he's missing one eye. He's wearing an eye patch. And Sanjuro, you recognize it as Mr. Parker. You don't know how, Ah, so the prodigal clone returns. You do realize you're the only viable one that made it out. Explosively, if I might add. And he just kind of is walking on the far side of this. There are glass tubes with strange shadows bobbing up and down, rhythmically green lights holding steady above them. This large
That-
beast in the middle, him on the far side.
That was by design.
When we render down your genetic code, we will see why your genetic alterations produced such a viable offspring. It's interesting, when Mr. Smith came to me and said that he could deliver you here, I didn't expect it to be so soon or quite so explosively. It took quite a bit of money to have him betray you. But
Mr. Smith.
I'm sure you are as desperate as I am for the family reunion. And lights start flickering from green to yellow to red on 3 of the tubes, and the glass slides up, and 3 very naked Sanjuros slide out of the tubes in this kind of gross, viscous fluid. And as soon as the fluid washes off of them, they scream. And as they scream, they undergo a torturous metamorphosis. Their limbs distending, their hands dropping down into claws. And you can see the signs of the contagion taking effect at a very, very rapid rate. In fact, a rate so rapid, Sanjuro, that it reminds you of what that other subsidiary was working on last Christmas when there was the outbreak. And you can here's the thing. I'm sure I'll get enough of your genetic material off of their claws. There's always the risk with science. After all, what's a good experiment if you don't lose an eye? And he starts walking towards a portal, an iris that opens up, and you can see that monorail car waiting for him on the other side. And as the yokai stand, we're going to go into initiatives. The first drama
so
card.
Jan,
Yes.
I'm going to kind of stumble to the side and accidentally put my hand on a panel,
Okay.
and it's going to mistakenly read my palm print as an escaped project
Okay.
that needs to be destroyed by the base's auto defense system. So this is going to be a disadvantage for me.
Okay.
So now the base is mistakenly thinking me as like an escaped specimen.
That it needs to purge.
Yes.
And when it works to your disadvantage, what does it give you?
Two
Two
possibilities.
possibilities. All right, you hear
All right.
rejected genetic material detected in the area. Auto purge beginning. And you can see sprayers start coming out, and the scientists start freaking, and it hits one of them, and it just starts rendering their suit and flesh and organs to just gray goo. And they all start panicking. And Mr. Smith looks back and definitely leaves the room.
Wait, Mr. Smith's here?
No, sorry, not Mr. Smith, Mr. Parker. So,
Oh, okay.
um,
Mr. Parker, we're not done yet.
let them have it. The heroes go first, and this is a dramatic scene. So the heroes get flurry, attack, which means they get, after you take your first turns, your side gets to go again.
Yay.
Okay.
And
Okay, we're gonna
attack
need it.
or intimidate are the approved actions. So I'm going to let Sanjuro have this first.
I would like to go ahead and play Fists of Fury, my Cosm card. which makes all unarmed combat moves favored for my teammates.
All right.
Aha. All right. Well, we're gonna have to go through the yokai. So, remind me about how bad yokai are.
How would you? Well, I mean, I have to share this with you, right? Because that's the way this
Yes.
game works. Unless they have that really cool ability that Lehman pointed out to me. So yokai are Xenogospog of, I believe, they're not the worst. What you need to know about them is you all need to give me a fear test, willpower, or spirit. They
Okay.
have possibilities, but not as much as normal because they have just woken up out of their sleep. They are quite tough. They are infected. They have a possibility hunger, where if you spend possibilities to soak, they gain the possibility.
Okay.
Now, these are not full yokai. These are newly awakened yokai. So they're a little bit different, but they are still nasty.
Okay. Well, the first, flashback before we began this meeting, before the meeting, Mr. Smith, Sanjuro prepared himself through the morning of meditation, and so he, looking at the dire situation, he decides to try to center himself as a free action. And I will gain 1 bonus die plus 1 of shock. Let's hope it's a good one.
All right.
Yes, it's a 6. Awesome. And that's more than enough. I'm now down to 0 shock.
All right. So you got the
And
yokai
my
in
willpower
front of
test.
you. Oh yeah, willpower
And
test.
my willpower
to start.
test was a 10.
All right, you are fine.
All right. I will make. It's time to engage the yokai, and do they take shock?
They do not take shock.
All right. Well, I turn off my electric katana and use it in the simply regular sword mode.
Okay.
Wait, how far are they? How close are they?
You can move. I mean, they are only about 6 meters from you.
6 meters, but they're not in immediate contact.
They are not in immediate contact at this point. No.
All right. I would then like to do a multi action
Okay.
whereby I will attempt a trick with my smoke pellets.
Okay.
And that so I'm going to throw them to the ground. And I'll give me a -2 concealment penalty within a 5-meter radius.
Okay.
And then, so I try to conceal myself and us, and at least against all 3 yokai. So that's it. And then I will also attempt to strike one of the yokai.
All right. So the yokai have a mind of 5.
All right.
They're very easy to trick.
That's good because that's going to be a little difficult. So that's the multi-target is a multi-action is a -2 and another -4 for doing, so it's a -6 total.
Now, here's the only other thing I would point out to you, Sanjuro. You do have a flurry, so if you want to do take your first action to do the smoke pellets, and then your flurry action to do the attack.
That's true. Maybe that's a good. That
would drop you to a -4 as opposed to a -6.
Yes, and then yes. All right, I will go to simply a -4 on the trick, and that is a total of 5, including all penalties and the multi-target permit.
So that actually successfully tricks them.
Yes. All right.
So you get the concealment, and then are you making them stymied or vulnerable?
I think we want to make them vulnerable since we have lots of actions to go take against them.
All right, so they are vulnerable, and you have the concealment. All right, who's going next, Joe or William?
I will aim my Kyogo T11 at one of the yokai.
All right. William.
Let's see. I'm going to see if I can't further trick two of the yokai, not all three. I'm going to grab some random beaker or something that's on a table and just
Okay.
chuck it between the two yokai and see if I can get them to snap at each other.
Okay.
That's terrible. With the -2, got a trick of 6.
That will stymie both of them.
Excellent.
I don't
Or
want
can
to
I push
say
them to
that
very
these
vulnerable?
guys. Never mind. I'm not going to say that. So that is the end of your first round. Is now the flurry action. They are vulnerable, stymied, and you have a concealment penalty. Again, they have a concealment penalty against you.
All right. Well, now I would like to. I would say, go ahead.
I rolled a
Range before beauty.
25 to shoot the one I was aiming at.
Well, a 25 is an outstanding success.
All right, so that is going to be 16 damage plus 3 bonus dice.
Yep. Is it armor
For a
piercing at
total
all?
I don't have that written down, so let's say no.
Okay.
And they're naked, so do they have armor?
They have tough hides.
Okay. So it's a 21 damage altogether.
All right, so 21 damage is up 7, which is a wound and 2 shock. And it's going to spend its possibility to try and soak that. Not with a 2. It takes it. All right.
And I get a card because attack was approved?
You do get a card. Your card is setback. You can play it to trigger a setback for the opponents as though it appeared on the dramatic card conflict line. Sanjuro or William?
Just you go first.
Oh, yep. I can. So I'm just going to go running out of the smoke cloud and do a really fantastic looking jump kick to try and catch the one on the far extreme in the face.
Okay, go for it.
And I'm going to go ahead and spend a shock to give myself a bonus.
All right.
Because I think I'm going to need it.
Their unarmed combat right now is 13.
Well, that is mildly inspiring, the 15, but I really want this to work. So I'm going to spend a possibility.
All right.
And finished it up with a 5. So that goes to 25. That is not awesome, but that's cool.
A 25.
I'll take it.
So a 25.
So 25 is
up
plus
8.
8. So now we're looking at 23 for the total.
So a 23 is an outstanding success against a vulnerable yokai.
Then I am going to go ahead and burn 3 shock to get a bonus die or another bonus die out of that.
All right, go for it.
All right. Ka-cha! Oh, ace. All right, so let's see. 9, 14, 19, and then 29.
29 points of damage.
Yes.
That's up 15. That's 3 wounds and a shock. So
Would an
he's gonna
adrenaline help get to that? There's no way I can give him adrenaline or something that's going to give him more.
No, he's already
No,
at
no.
outstanding. Yeah.
None.
So I'm gonna spend that their possibility to try and soak, which is a 10, which reduces it to 2 wounds and kills the newly born yokai. leaving only 2 left. And your attack action gets you a hero card.
But he was so young and beautiful.
Sanjuro,
course
you've
he
seen
was
what your
beautiful.
future holds, at least according to the will of Mr. Parker.
Yes.
Doesn't look good.
All right.
You're not one of those people that ages like fine wine.
You know, so it's like, I'm kind of like Roy. I've burning very, very brightly.
That's right.
It's better
Yes,
to burn out than to fade away.
That's right.
Soon this moment will be lost. Like,
Like
sorry.
tears.
That's
Rain.
two
Yes.
Highlander references.
That's right.
No.
I've set a bad precedent, so Joe gets one.
Yes.
And that's
All right,
exactly what I was thinking about when you were weaving through the streets. So I'm going to give myself one.
Okay.
Okay, sweet.
No, I disagree. All right, I'm going to make a multi-target on both of the remaining yokai.
Okay.
So he maneuvers around through the smoke cloud. So he comes around towards them from what is actually behind them,
Okay.
and it's just like so he comes through and it's like one stroke upward on the first one, and he cuts the other one back down on the downstroke.
All right. Give me the roll. Again,
Okay, go
13 is their defense this round.
Well, that's not great. I will spend a possibility on that. Last roll is a very not great 4. And what did you say their defense was?
13.
13. And then I'll have an adrenaline from my first run, so I'll spend one of my adrenalines to get that total to a 20.
So a 20 is a good success.
All right.
What's
I spend 3 shock. I can get it to a 22. It's not enough, is it?
It's not enough. You need to get to a 23.
All right. All right. All right. First damage, 1 bonus die. Effect is 13.
13 will just inflict shock.
Yeah. And the second one. It's a total of 16.
All right. Will also inflict shock. I'm sorry, Sanjuro.
Darn.
All right. It is their turn. The 2 that remain, one turns on Sanjuro, kind of seeing you. You see kind of a tortured look in its eyes, but its mouth spreads widely, and you can just see the rows of fangs inside. And it leaps upon you. Oh, by the way, William and Joe, I do need willpower or spirit tests from you.
All right.
I got a 20.
All right, you're fine.
10.
That's what you need. So, congratulations.
Yay.
Now, speaking of 10s, Sanjuro. The contagion version of you hits you with a 23.
Well, that's not great. I think so. If I spend a possibility to soak, they get it.
They get it. Oh, by the way, you got a second wind for your action.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, hold on. I rolled a 23, but they are stymied 21. And there's
right.
the concealment cloud, which drops it to a 19. So it is
All right. Well,
it is right now a 19.
a 19 against my melee defense, which is a 17. That would be 2 shock. I think I'll take it.
Well, no, that it'll just be a base damage roll, and their
Straight up.
damage is
Oh.
18
Yeah.
versus, so it's up 5. So that'll be a wound and 2 shock.
All right. Well, I will attempt to soak then.
Okay. It absorbs the possibility.
All right, and that is a 14.
All right, you take no
So
damage
that's-
from it.
Take no damage.
The other one leaps upon William, for William
What?
has been
It's terrible.
identified
It's a problem.
mistakenly as Sanjuro 14 and rolls a 2. Come on, guys. You were rolling nothing but 18 earlier. Let's see here. This guy
Use them all up.
has it's a -8. So that's a 7 to hit you.
So close. So close,
So
though.
close, and fails. Oh, actually, that's even worse because of the stymie and the concealment cloud. That's a 4. He misses you in melee combat, William.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and spend that shock and get my block strike out there.
All right.
All right. All right, you annoying little yokai. All right. Starting with the 14. For funsies, I'm going to spend a possibility because it worked out good for me before. It's the worst time. So I rolled a 10, but I
Okay.
can't roll again.
Nope, yours don't explode.
So I'm sitting at, what did I say, 24?
24, yeah. +8.
Could trade you a drama.
You know
Drop.
what? I'm going to do something wacky. I'm going to just go all in
Okay.
because this is the kind of stuff to do. 'Cause I have a feeling this might work. So I'm going to go ahead and play my drama that was in my hand,
Okay.
or it was in my
You're in your pool.
hand, but now it's in my pool. All right, so that is a 12. So now we're looking at 36. And I also have a hero that I have, so I might as well get rid of it. 36 and 17. 40, 50. So
50.
close.
So close. Almost to
close.
glory.
If I'd been able to roll again on that other one,
I know.
So
but
close.
some, you got the black lung pop.
I got the cough.
That's right. That's right. God bless us,
All right,
everyone.
so all of that for the 2 bonus dice, but it's worth it.
It's worth it.
All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 8, 12, 22.
So 22 is up 8. That'll be a wound and 2 shock. However, that's the one that Joe wounded. Which means it is dead.
I will take it. And I will go ahead and discard this romance for a possibility. Since I have to get rid of it anyway.
You don't want to
And I'm
romance
not going to-
Sanjuro's infected clone?
You know what? There have been other players that have dipped from that well. So I have to come up with my new gimmick and my new scheme, and I'm not.
That well has been repeatedly. I don't know if you guys watched the holiday episode where we did the recount, but I managed to completely dodge telling the story that was asked of me to tell about Rasputin and yeah, that was not going to happen.
I don't know. There's something about Mr. Parker's one good eye. There's like a twinkle. There's a twinkle in there.
Speaking of, the last villain in the scene is Mr. Parker, and he is taking a multi-action. The first you hear, safety overrides.
That's
On
never a good
Project
sign.
Spawn, disengaged. Time to activation, 10 minutes, and electricity starts arcing back up along the power cables, and the thing starts to slowly writhe in the water. The water starts to boil. And then there is a voice kind of over the comms. I'll learn either from your corpse or in the phase 2 trials. And a shot rings out.
Oh no.
Mr. Furious, Parker, as the doors were closing, you hear the shot of a rifle go off, and it hits you with a roll of a 23 is +8. Fire combat for Parker takes that to a 22. Would you like to try and deflect it?
I would. I've already acted this. If I give up, can I give up my next turn's action for an active defense?
I'd allow it.
All right. I will attempt an active defense.
All right.
First, I will spend the shock to move to my melee defense.
All right.
I'll spend. All right. Oh, that's nice. 20. My active defense of roll of 23. So a total of +8 it gets me to a defense of 25. What do I need?
You successfully deflected it. You cut the bullet in two, and it just kind of nicks over your eye. Looks like it was going dead center, and then it looked like it was going to take your eye out, kid. But then it went far wide. And the next card comes up as the iris closes again. And this card is, oh no. The last yokai goes first with an up.
That is a no.
I'm glad I'm still running an active defense.
You are still
Also-
running an active defense.
I think JM should get a possibility for his Christmas story reference too.
That is a
So,
good one.
Yeah, I
Shooting
think
their eye out.
I think the GM gets a extra possibility.
So I will take it. Miss Sanjuro, you will get opponent fails from the active defense on this round as the approved action. I will take my possibility, and it is going to do a multi-attack on William and Joe. Because it's got an up.
I don't
Why
like
not?
that. Yeah, no kidding.
They come around so rarely. A 10 and a 19
Yikes.
and a 5. 10, a 19, and a 5 is a 34, which is a +10. I'll take it, which is actually only a +8, so a 23 on both of you in unarmed combat, which I believe is an outstanding success on both of you.
No, it's a good success on me.
All right. Good
Outstanding
success.
for me.
All right, so we're going to start with Itch's moves in a way that you have only seen Sanjuro move when he is centered with his blade in hand. The claws go tearing into your side, William, for
Ouch.
23 points of damage. Well, so a 23 damage, which against you is up 13, so that's 2 wounds and 4 shock. Joe. 25 is up 15, 3 wounds and 6 shock. It dashes to the left, rending deep in William's belly, and it's going to attempt to come up and puppet Joe through the abdomen up into his helmet.
I did not soak on my first roll, so I have to spend my only remaining my Highlander possibility to boost my soak. And I still only rolled a 12. So
you
I
will
will
take
take
2 wounds.
2 wounds.
I can trade you a drama.
I don't think it I don't think I mean I have a drama.
He's already
I've
played
already-
a possibility on the
I already
soak.
played a possibility on it, so
You
but
can
we
play
can
a
play for the
drama
reroll.
card.
I will
play
use the
drama
you
on
know
it.
what?
Yeah,
I will
drama
have used-
drama will stack with it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll play mine. You don't have to give it to me.
Yeah, remember, you can only play one possibility from from each source. So that would be drama, hero, and possibility. So you can, in theory, get 3 extra dice on something. And if you had an up, now we're just hypothetical situations.
Okay, so I'm at a 17 soak.
So that will still inflict 1 wound on you,
One.
Joe.
Cool.
William, what did
I
you
will
get?
I'm going to take it.
Okay. It is now your turn.
I would like to air vehicles the one of the yokai into the water with the giant thing.
So that'll be a maneuver.
Okay.
And there's only the 1 yokai left. How many wounds are you at right now, Joe?
1.
All right. Go ahead.
I am not successful.
Would you like to trade a drama card?
I have nothing left to trade you, my friend. I'm just
Alright.
unsuccessful.
All right, Sanjuro or William. As you go flying up, there is a scientist that grabs your leg, Joe, trying to like ride with you, and he weighs you down just long enough. And as you look back, that gray spray kind of hits, and you watch as it sort of dissolves him from the back slowly up to the front as he screams until his face is gone. And the arm just kind of falls. You might want to get out of that way.
So what are the approved actions again?
Defend and intimidate, and you have defended.
Yes, that's exactly it. So
Brian.
All right. So I'm going to do something a bit clever, if I may. I am going to go ahead and do a trick
Okay.
on this yokai. And I'm going to sort of start floundering backwards. It's got a good old taste of William. And I'm going to start floundering backwards, and I'm going to see if I can't draw it into the path of this dissolving gas or funk that's being sprayed out all over the place.
Go for it.
So this is going to be a trick roll here. And that is a darn good start. And I'm going to spend a possibility to make it even more of a darn good start. So
All right.
18 followed by 18 is 36. So that is 9.
Hey, I know the GM. Good to see you here.
So we're looking at a 17 total,
That is an outstanding success.
which I believe is a player's call, which means I get to draw it into the
Dissolving
whatever.
goo.
dissolving goo.
So the good news is the dissolving goo hits this thing with enough force to inflict 3 wounds on it.
Excellent.
It is damage 30. Let the players take note. It will try to spend a possibility to soak this. That is not a great start. It will spend another possibility to try and get better than an 8 on the die roll. Got another 8. My dice. It got me to an 18, which is all they could roll in the first scene. So it's a +5 to its spirit. So that reduces it. Oh, well, that takes it from 3 wounds to 1 wound and no shock. So you toss it in there. It kind of hisses, and comes out, and you can see its back has been laid open. You can see flesh and tendon kind of working, and it seems to be ignoring the pain. Do you want to make it very vulnerable or very stymied on top of that?
I'm going to make it very stymied because I think that I might have irritated it some. And I'm also going to fire off my Zing mod so I can get some shock back.
Okay, go for it.
All right, so 4 and 2 is 6 shock back, which I'm going to need.
All right, that is the end of the round. The next one is the pace quickens. So alarms go off, project spawn, activation, 9 minutes. At this point, there are no other scientists, and the gray mist is kind of closing in on either side. You guess that you have maybe 1, or you maybe have 2, unless you get a setback, at least 2 rounds, 30 seconds before the mists kind of hit you. The yokai is
I'd like
there.
to go ahead and play my setback card on the villains.
Okay.
So, as if there was a setback on the drama card.
So it will get hit again at the end of its turn. Heroes go first. Villains also get a flurry this one. So good luck.
So at the end of its first or second turn.
End of its first turn, it will get hit with the mists, unless you do something to maneuver it or trick it into it. Sanjuro,
So what are the approved actions again?
the approved actions on this card are any multi-action.
Bleed or be wounded. Yes.
Oh, any multi-action. All right. I would. How close is it? How far away is it? It's.
Oh, you've got 12 meters between the two gray mists. So
it's not in melee range right now.
it's not in melee range right now. No.
All right. Well, I think that, and it's already stymied. It's very stymied.
It's very stymied and has taken a wound.
Right. Well, I think that I want to. That wouldn't be a multi-action. Clearly, no, multi-action is the way to go. I think that I want to do a find to see if I can find us a way out of this mess.
Okay.
And at the same time, I am going to pull out my Kyogo 144 and let it have it.
All right. Give me the roll.
All right. So multi. Well, that is terrible. Well, 9. It's not that terrible. Oh, yeah, I'll spend a possibility.
All right.
And last roll is a 9. My multi-action bonus is +8. So but I have a mod, but no, sorry, it's +5.
Okay.
So to my find,
okay,
that includes my multi-action penalty and my wounded penalty.
Perfect.
So my find total is 15.
So there are two ways out with a good success. You can either try and you're guessing that whatever this project spawn is, has to have a way out into the bay, or you have just enough time to get back through the blown open door and into the hallway.
I think we should go to the bay, but we'll talk about that afterwards. And my fire combat total is 16.
All right, that hits it with.
Oh, sorry, that's with a small burst, so it's a 18.
Oh, that is a good success.
All right, so I'll spend a bonus. And that does a damage total of 18.
Which inflicts its last wound. And a 1 on the soak. Sanjuro, what does it look like as you kill yet another one of your clones?
Well, the bullets are like the SMGs of bullets are ripping up the chest, like through the natural rise. So it's like thunk 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 thunk.
Yeah,
that's just like, and before it's hit the ground, my head is turning around and scanning towards the enormous tank with something in it, because that's the way out.
Do you guys follow Sanjuro into the bay?
Follow me.
All right, I would like each of you to give me a survival roll, please.
Do I have any points in that? I don't think I have any points in that.
So Jam, I'm figuring as I'm leaving, I would like to take a look to see if there isn't a way that I can mess up the hydraulics that are moving that door, so that the door can get only jam or open up only so far that this thing that's writhing the tank can't escape the facility.
Give me a computers test, and this will be a multi-action. So I'm gonna need so this will be applied to both your computers and your survival.
Awesome. Because I am so good at computers. Because computers,
use my drama card on that survival.
Computers involve memory.
What?
And I don't know anything about memory. All right, so I'm going to spend a possibility since I've got them. All right, that's not horrible. So we're looking at a. It's a 5. So let's see. For my survival, I've got a 14.
Okay, and what'd you get on the computers?
And for my computers, I got a 13.
All right. You jammed the doors open just wide enough that the three of you could swim through. You follow out. Sanjuro, what did you get?
Yeah, my base with the drama card that I used, that got me to a 9.
Oh, no.
I could. Is this like? But is this a survival based on mind or?
No.
Okay, so it's based on on what?
Strength.
Strength. Well, that's a little bit better. That gets me to a 10.
That's perfect. Joe,
Okay.
what did you get?
I got. Oh, good. I got a 14.
All right. The three of you go swimming into the darkness of the bay. You can see the doors sort of lighting up, and there's this deep thrum as they lock into position. You can see more as you kind of start to swim out. You can see something large in this tank. Bioluminescent cells start to flicker to light. Not enough for you to see what it is, but enough to know that whatever it is, it's massive. And as you swim out into the bay and kind of come up, you make your way to land. And as the sunrise starts to show out far, far to the east of Christmas Day, you can hear this. You can see more. There are these deep thrums, and the waves kind of back out too early from the shore. And you watch as Parker's building suddenly starts to collapse in on itself.
Oh, and every time a building collapses, Storm Knight gets its wings.
That's right. And that's where we will end our Christmas episode.
Wait, do we see 3 ships come sailing in?
Three
You see the
ships
two tugs and the cargo boat
It's
actually
there. What-
start heading out. And as they go sailing out, one of the cargo boats or one of the tugboats disappears, pulled underneath by something massive.
Well, that won't come back to haunt us.
That won't come
Fine.
back to haunt you. But Merry Christmas, everyone! I hope. Did you guys have fun with the Christmas adventure?
Fantastic. Thank you, Sync.
I have more
Yes.
questions than I came in with now.
Yeah. Well, that's always my goal.
Mission
As
accomplished.
that ship went down, I felt like I heard these alarm bells ringing. Like
That's-
these bells were ringing out on Christmas Day.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
So, Merry Christmas from all of us at Iconic. I would just like to thank Bureau G. I'm hoping for our next one that the auditor will be able to return and possibly another special guest. Lining those up, maybe we'll have to do like a Christmas in July episode of the Bureau G team.
That's right.
But to everyone
This
from
is-
Iconic, thank you so much. Merry Christmas. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you, Mr. Furious and Brian. Do you
No,
guys wanna
it's
say
fine.
anything?
I was just saying this is I'd be delighted because our story pacing is taking hit at 1 episode a year.
the Pan Pacifica books will arrive to the backers and to the general public in February.
I know. I'm so excited. There's a lot of great material in this. Pan Pacific is a great cosm. I'm also really excited for what the team has for year 2. So, I know. I'm so excited. Well, we will see you all next year on the Iconic Production channel. We'll be back with Behind the Screen the first Tuesday in January, with Torg to follow a week or two after that. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay gaming. I would like to thank Greg, Brian, and Ben for joining me for yet another Bureau G adventure. My goal here with the Bureau G is just to keep Sanjuro as confused as to his origins as possible. And I feel like I have successfully done that. Until next year, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll see you all in 2023. Have a good one.
Thanks.